Look, the biggest podcast where you can learn them lessons. Line for line where you can learn from different sections. Made it out the mud, come tell your story, blessings. Never know who listening, never know who stressing. Devon gave you a voice, come speak your honest truth. Line for line, go bar for bar, it's up to you. Wanna talk sports, gov, and politics? Wanna talk about where you from and your accomplishments? The Line for Line is really where you need to be. A platform that's really made for folks like you and me. You can find it all no matter what you seek. Whether you calling or you listening, tune in every week.
All right. Just like that, we're back in another very special episode of Line for Line podcast. We have a very special gentleman in the building today. We'll let him introduce himself to the world.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Andy Varnes. I'm a videographer, photographer, and I run a media company here in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes, sir. Now, can you go ahead and just break the ice and tell us how you got started into media? Because we see you're well established.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. So the way I got started, actually, it was I had never picked up a camera up until 18 years old. So I started pretty late in the game. And the way I got started for it was I was actually at a school to play basketball. Got hurt pretty quickly, literally before our first game. Got hurt. Yeah. So got too many concussions. So it was like just a little crazy freak accident.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the coach sat me down. He says, "Hey, if I still want you to part of the team. If you kind of do more like the managerial role, start running the camera stuff and everything, then I'd love to keep you on and everything." And I was super grateful. And that was actually the start of everything.
No way. And this was in high school, right?
So, no, this is college, freshman year of college. So I'm playing. College. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they hand you the camera and they say, "You go ahead and you handle all the camera stuff."
Yeah, essentially.
So tell us a little bit about the start of that and what that was like for you. Was it your first time touching a camera?
Yeah, it was very first time. So freshman year of college, just first time touching everything, figuring everything out. And yeah, it was a blast on everything, to where I was still able to be a part of the team, and I'm still traveling with them and doing all the fun things. And then after that, I came back to Jacksonville to finish going to school and everything, and kind of did it for fun, and it just kind of slowly grew.
Can you tell us a little about the quality? What the quality was like when you first started?
Oh, it was terrible.
No way.
It was terrible. Oh, it was so bad. It was so. I don't know. Whenever you're posting this, I can send you the video. It was like the very first hype video that I did. I put like this weird purple tint over it or something like this. I mean, it was iMovie made through and through. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. But that's exactly how you learn. And at the time you're thinking, man, this looks great.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that first 6 months of learning, you learn, I mean, just so much. And then you kind of hit the stage to where you're thinking that you're doing good, you're learning a ton, and you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. And then you'll hit this new stage eventually, to where you kind of step into a whole new realm of the creators, and you're thinking, oh, I know nothing. And you kind of sit like that for forever, to where you're like, I don't think you ever reach that stage of, oh, I'm the best on the planet if you're kind of a true videographer creator, because there's just so much talent and quality out there.
Yes. Now, with you doing it for the college basketball side, tell us a little bit about what the atmosphere was like of creators around you, because I'm pretty sure there were other creators there as well creating content, right?
Honestly, no, because I didn't go to a big big D1 school. It was literally just me.
Oh, really?
It was a small school in North Georgia. So think of, there's a couple I mean, basically it was like a small private college on everything. So you're looking at a couple thousand kids on everything. So it wasn't a huge university on everything. So it was just me. So there was almost think of like a JUCO almost.
Okay. Now, how long did it take you to practice and get better?
Still doing it, but probably, I kind of begin to get in the swing of things a couple months into it, to where that's when you really start diving onto YouTube, and you're trying new things, and you're trying new edits on everything. And it's kind of like just a compound interest over time, to you start skill stacking. and it just kind of grows from there. But it probably from that starting point to where I'm thinking I am a professional and I know what I'm doing. Probably like a year and a half of
Oh wow.
just learning the skills. And honestly, it was more of a confidence level for me.
Yeah.
So, for other people, it probably could have been sooner, but to where I was saying, okay, I'm pretty well set on this and running it correctly. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was about how long it took to kind of gain that confidence.
Yeah, of course, of course. Now, were there ever any times where you put out some content and you thought this was not your best work or you could have done more, but then everyone around you said, "Dude, this was really, really good."
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think we're always going to be our biggest critic,
Mhm.
as creators on everything. To where I'll shoot a wedding video that's going to be 12 minutes long, and I'm going to be kicking myself because of there's like a 1 second blurb that nobody's going to notice but me. But
Yeah.
maybe it was that like I don't even know, like her shoot, like her feet were cut off in this specific frame, and I'm kicking myself, and I'm thinking the entire video is ruined. But nobody but me is gonna notice it. But
Tell
yeah.
just tell us a little bit about the process that you go through to hype yourself up and let yourself know that mistakes are going to happen, but there's ways to get around it and move forward.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think it's just coming with the learner's mindset, saying, I'm gonna make mistakes, every day, and I'm gonna learn from those mistakes. I'm just gonna try to be better the next time. That no matter what happens, that I don't think I've ever done a video shoot to where everything has gone perfectly correctly.
Oh, really?
You know? Yeah, I mean, again, like, it could literally be as simple as, there's a specific sunlight shot, the sun didn't hit it perfectly. I think there's always room for improvement. No
Mhm.
matter no matter what the shoot is, I think there's always gonna be some sort of room to where you can get better on the next time. So I think it's just not being so hard on yourself of saying, this is kind of the end all be all on everything. Like, mistakes are gonna be made, and honestly, most of the time it's going to be you that's going to be seeing those mistakes.
Yeah.
99% of the people are going to be thinking that it's the best work ever.
Dude, that's crazy that you said it because I say that all the time because I get so down on myself when I put out content.
Mhm.
I'm like, dude, I could have went so much harder. But to the natural eye, just like the normal
Mhm.
person watching the video, they're not even
Mhm.
gonna notice like, oh,
Mhm.
this shade was off here for the color of the orange around the outline of
Mhm.
the jersey or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. They're gonna see it really quick, say, oh wow, that was dope. Let
Yeah.
me make sure I support it, share it, like it. But then
Mhm.
here I am posting it, and I'm just looking at like, man, I could have done so much better, or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
That leads me into our next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your biggest mistake that you have made to this day?
Oh, financially stuff for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. And that's one thing that I mean, I pride myself on is kind of growing it slowly. But yeah, probably buying, dumb equipment when I probably shouldn't have.
Uh-huh.
Like, I can give a good example to where I bought a $3,000 cinema camera, and to this day, I've barely used it just because that's just not the industry that I necessarily need to be using it in. I mean, we use mirrorless, and our cameras are absolutely great.
Mhm.
And so I think it's kind of putting the cart before the horse, and a lot of times to where you get really excited about things, and you're trying to do step 16, but you need to do step 2 first.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that was my issue starting off with as well too, because you have the vision. Obviously, the vision is always going to be the $1 million vision, but then you work so hard and you want the $1 million equipment, so you
Mhm,
buy all of these things. Like me, I buy all of these
mhm,
mics, all these different things, but it's like I'm just one person. It's like I can't sit here and use all of this. It's like there's
mhm.
time when you need to get stuff and when you
Yeah,
can rent stuff. And that was my biggest thing too, understanding when I needed to rent something versus go out and actually purchase something that I won't even use all the time necessarily.
yeah, and I will say the caveat of that, okay, if you're beginning, you need to upgrade that equipment as quick as possible.
Mhm.
This is down the line to where, you'll kind of get into the habit, and it's a good habit of every time you get money in, you're putting it back out to upgrade your equipment. Well,
Mhm.
eventually, you need to kind of take a step back. Say, okay, my equipment's good enough. Let's reinvest in either some skill set or some other parts of my business of everything.
Nice. Now, can you just tell us a bit about the biggest job that you've landed when it comes to cinematography, photography, videography?
Ooh, okay. Biggest job. I mean, probably working with a couple big creators on everything. That's always pretty huge. Honestly, it not isn't necessarily in the sports world. It's more so in the business world, and that's kind of where we've kind of found our niche
Hmm.
is doing the marketing and media and content creation for businesses and entrepreneurs. And I'm trying to think of like the biggest job that we've done. The the biggest is, I mean, combined over the year, you're talking about, over a $10,000 a year, but this is gonna be it's a month by month basis almost. That's the way that we run, that I kinda run my business is basically having them on month to month subscriptions.
Hmm. Hmm. Nice. And then, are there any professional teams in your area that you had the pleasure of working with or doing anything for?
Professional as in like.
Maybe college football teams,
Oh,
basketball
yeah, I
teams,
mean, we
sports.
have the Jaguars right here. So
Hmm.
so I got so, shooting them is always an awesome opportunity. I get to see a ton of amazing creatives on there. And then I'm the lead photographer for one of the top magazines here. It's Jacksonville Magazine, and so that's also a cool thing to kind of be around to shoot for.
Yeah. Can you just tell us a little about the process and the journey of getting to where you are, being able to record for the Jaguars, what it was like, what all went into it?
Yeah, and so actually Jaguars, it's photography. It's not even videography. It's
Okay.
it's I'm dual skill set on everything, but the way that I originally got in with the Jaguars is by, I mean, it's going back to that hustle culture on everything to where, I started in high school, and every person on the sideline, I try to make a connection with. I try to talk to. I try to build some sort of relationship with. And you go through that season, and then it just so happens that one day the photographer, he's going to be sick on a Saturday, and they call you Saturday night saying, "Hey, can you come shoot this game tomorrow?" And yeah, let's do it. And then I basically used those photos and took it full opportunity of this. This is end of 2019, so this is right before COVID on everything.
Hmm.
But I went and actually a shout out to a friend of mine, Eli Elmore. He's another huge, I mean, amazing photographer here in Jacksonville. But I kind of copied him on everything because he did stuff similar to this. But every photo that I took, and I mean, every time that you get a piece of content, it's a ton. Every single piece of content that I took, I DM'd every single player on the Jaguars roster and the Colts roster. I
Yeah.
DM'd every trainer. I DM'd every coach. If I had found a photo of them, I went full stock mode, trying to find every social media to try to
Yeah.
just build relationships from there, and it helped dramatically.
Yeah. Not to cut you off, speaking to that, because obviously this is something that
Mhm.
I deal with, and you can give me advice on this. But when DMing these athletes or coaches, have you ever heard the word no?
Um, Not really, because I never really asked anything.
Okay,
It
gotcha.
was it was just, "Hey, man, I got some photos of you. Feel free to use them if you'd like. If you do post them, if you wouldn't mind throwing me the tag, but if you ever need any work, I'm here in Jacksonville too. Just hit me up." That
Gotcha.
was that was the message.
Gotcha. Because me, I reach out to like college teams and everything like that to get
Mhm.
media credentials. So I've heard the word no before. And
Okay.
when you hear no, sometimes it just crushes your spirit and
Oh,
it
no,
just like makes you feel like, oh my God.
I've been there to where, yeah, you'll try to get the media credentials, and it's like, man, it's like, hey, like it's definitely soul crushing because, especially if you're trying to go for free, like you're like, I
Mhm.
don't even want to be paid. Like you don't even want my free work. Like come on, like I'm just trying to be there. I'm like, I'm trying to do free work for y'all. Y'all still don't even want that. Like it's like it's demoralizing for sure.
Yeah. How do you handle situations like that where you do find yourself not being able to do something?
Man, I think it's just you just got to roll with the punches. And in this industry, if you're not willing to just continue to ask and kind of just kind of push your way forward, then you're not going to make it. This
Mhm.
industry is way too saturated, in all
Oh,
honesty.
yes.
You have so many people that want, because it's an awesome industry. I mean, I mean, we get to hang out with professional athletes, professional, people, just really cool individuals that you're seeing on TV, and we're able to capture that. That that's pretty cool. That's
Mhm.
pretty cool. So everybody wants to do it, and you have to stand out somehow. And honestly, a lot of the times it's literally just by asking, trying to get your foot in the door, and you're going to get the door slammed on your face a lot. It's
Yeah.
almost it's like a door-to-door salesman. You just got to get used to it.
Yeah, very true, very true. Have you had to deal with any competition maybe in like your city, your area, or anything like that? If so, how did you handle that and rise to the occasion?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely competition in Jacksonville. It's a very, very fast growing city. I think at the very beginning, I didn't necessarily know how to handle it. And the reason for it was, um, in all honesty, I didn't necessarily know what to do. You're just kind of getting your feet wet in everything.
Mhm,
Now you just have to know that there's plenty of opportunities to go around if you're willing to work for it. Especially if you're in a city that's growing and flourishing,
mhm,
there's plenty of opportunities. You literally just have to look around for it. And I know that kind of goes against what I just said to where it's really saturated, but you got to understand that most people aren't willing to put in the work. All you got to do is kind of outwork them in a lot of ways. So
mhm,
now like there's other photographers and videographers that are here that are technically my competition, but they're also my closest friends.
mhm.
We're excited for each other when they land a big deal. We're not jealous that, oh, why isn't this me.
And of course, you always just have to worry about yourself, that, and that was my
Hmm.
thing when I first started. I would always look at other content creators like, man, he's doing more numbers than me, he's doing more likes than me, or whatever the case may be, not knowing that actually it's not even all about the likes, it's all about consistency, because
Hmm.
yeah, that creator can post something that'll get 400 or 500, maybe even 1,000 likes or
Hmm.
whatever the case may be, but then they'll go ghost for like a month or two.
Yeah.
In that meantime, you're posting out content on a consistent basis, which beats that one post that'll get more likes than something that you've got, you know?
Hmm. Yeah. Talk to if you want to see. Okay, so, I mean, social media it's huge in our age, but in all honesty, if you want to see the opportunity is you got to talk to some of the older heads around there to where they've been in the industry for 40 years. They don't have
Mhm.
no social media. You have no idea who they are,
Yeah.
but it'd be like, oh yeah, they got like it's their content that has been all over the place for decades on everything. And you know we don't know who they are, but the people at the top, they do.
Yeah. 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 How is it that you find yourself not really paying attention to the amount of likes that you get on content that you put out?
Ooh, that's man, that you wanna talk about, the FOMO on everything to where that's difficult. I mean, I
Mhm.
I think it's difficult for everybody to kinda go into it and start comparing on everything. I think what's helped me is, like, I recently I launched my YouTube channel,
Oh, no.
and yeah, so I went and launched it just, like, documenting my journey of, okay, running a studio and more so a company over being just, like, a photographer.
Mhm.
Um, and what I had to kind of say is like, look, the reason I'm posting, it's for me. It is to showcase my work. It shouldn't matter, the amount of likes or the amount of views on everything. If I'm posting it for me and the people that are like close to in my life
Mhm.
on everything. So when I'm posting my YouTube video and I'm getting 30 views, like, yeah, like the first thing it hits is like, man, like that's tough.
Yeah.
But you have to take a step back and be like, all right, why are you down? Like, why is it that are you not proud of that work that you did? Like, are you, because it did not get as many likes or views as you had hoped for, does that suddenly devalue that work?
Mhm.
And for me, I tend to I try to say no. I say,
Mhm.
it's based off of what my view of it, and that it's just kind of a daily thing though.
Mhm. I think for me, that has been the hardest thing for me as a content creator, really
Mhm.
just separating the emotion from it. As you just said, post a video, get 30 views, and you're like, what? I spent 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long the case may be, getting that content out. And it's like, I don't feel the love there, but it's like, I can't let that separate me from the passion and the love of doing this, because I would do this for free at the end of the day, because
Absolutely.
this is what I love to do. So
Absolutely.
the amount of views or likes, that shouldn't resonate on, oh yeah, you're not good, or that wasn't as good as well too. It's like you can't expect everyone to be in love with everything that you do. It's like only you feel that hunger and that love for something, and you have to do that soul searching at the end of the day to keep yourself going.
Yeah, exactly. And you have to just continue to tell yourself, be like, look, you're in it for the long run.
Mhm.
You're in it to where if all you care about is how the next month looks, you're not gonna make it. You have to be thinking, okay, what is the next 10 years looking like for me? Where am I gonna be in 10 years? That's my real goal, is 10 years down the line, not 5 weeks down the line.
Yeah. Oh my God. What would you say has definitely been the hardest part for you as being a content creator?
Ooh, dang, that's a tough one. The hardest part for me is obviously it's comparing work for
Mhm.
me, honestly. It's honestly telling yourself that, okay, I'm good enough to be charging X amount price.
Mhm.
It's I have the ability to shoot this, and you'll be looking at other creators and comparing yourself to them. And sometimes it's in a good way, sometimes it's a bad way, to where sometimes you're thinking they're charging 10 grand for this project. You're like, I can do a better job than that,
Mhm.
and that's gonna hurt you thinking that way too, because you might be saying that, but you don't have that work. But then you
Mhm.
also might be comparing yourself, saying that, this, wow, this work is so good, I could never do anything like that, and that's a toxic mindset as well.
Mhm.
So that's probably it for me.
And do you find yourself now still comparing work even though you're in the big leagues with your content?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh wow.
I think it's a natural thing. It's definitely a different mindset, because I can kind of fall back on some of the things that I've done,
Mhm.
and I'm saying, look, this is my path and everything. But honestly, it's kind of just like that repetition of everything, to where if you haven't done the work, you're obviously going to compare yourself. But
Of course.
you know, if you have been establishing yourself and working on yourself, and you have been doing the best you can to grow, you can easily fall back on yourself, and be like, look, I'm trying the best I can, and that's all I can ask for of myself.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Now, what would be that piece of advice as we get ready to close out this amazing episode that you would give to the creator who's fighting to get to that next level and keep getting bigger and doing more work?
Yeah, absolutely. So the one piece of advice, man, is you just gotta want it more. Like it honestly just comes down to that, to the people that I've noticed have grown and succeeded, especially if you're younger, is that you're out there. You are being seen by more people than others. To where, okay, people will say, okay, you lucked into this, of getting this specific shot or getting this specific gig. But that luck comes down to, okay, you being out, and you being trying to be seen by other people, and 9 times out of 10, nothing's gonna happen. But all you need is that one time to get to that one opportunity to get you to that next level. And guess what?
Mhm.
When you get to that next level, it's the exact same thing, to where 9 out of 10 times nothing's going to happen, but you're still putting in your work, you're still networking with people, and all you need is to get that one chance, that one opportunity, and that's going to take you to that next level, and it's just going to repeat this process. But the only way to do that is by putting yourself out there. It is by showcasing your work, and a lot of times you're going to be undervalued and underpaid. But one thing as creators is that we don't need to do any marketing. Is that every time that somebody else posts our content, it markets us. We don't
Yes.
need to do any paid ads.
Yeah.
So you have to think about it that way, of saying, look, I'm doing this free work, but they're going to be posting it, and they got 5,000 followers. So I just paid for 5,000 people to see my work.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So yeah,
Wow,
that's
way to close out on a high note. Seriously, we greatly appreciate you for coming on Line for Line, giving us the opportunity to sit here and engage your mindset and just catch some of the gems that you have to offer to the world, young man. Is there anything that you'd like to say as we get ready to close out this interview? Any shout outs or anything like that for anyone?
Man, just there's a lot of creators out there that I look up to on everything too. A lot of friends that I look up to, and they make me want to be better. So if you don't have those people in your life, go find some.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we greatly appreciate your time, young man. We will definitely let you know as soon as
Absolutely.
everything's ready. We'll post a reel. I might even make the reel right now just to see. I have a couple of time. I have some spare time
Yeah,
to make the
for
reel, and
sure.
I'll tag you in it. All that as well too. Thank you very much for
Awesome,
your
man.
opportunity, sir. And I look
Yeah,
forward
for
to
sure,
talking
man.
to you going forward, sir.
Absolutely, man. All right, I'll see you later.
Calling, know you listening, tune in every week. Line for line. Oh yeah, I'm going line for line.